The season and the Cowboys' 3-game winning streak, well, it's over. The Cowboys come up short against the New York Giants 23-19. The Giants still alive in the NFC East. The Cowboys, meanwhile, a kind of a lost season, some would argue mercifully, is now over as they come up short. They won 3 in a row, but could not beat the Giants as the Giants snap what I believe now was a 7-game losing streak against the Dallas Cowboys. So what's your one-word reaction to the Cowboys' loss? How about classic? Kind of feels like a classic Cowboys end-of-season game, right, where they were in it, they had a bunch of great chances, but Dalton played poorly, a terrible interception, the offensive line was not good. I did not like kicking the field, or not going for 2. You don't challenge some mistakes by Mike McCarthy. A lot of blame to go around in this one. Frankly, maybe not the defense so much. Once again, 2 takeaways almost became 3 late, but the Wayne Gallman fumble was ruled a Giants recovery, and the Cowboys come up short. So get your votes in for your one-word reaction to the Cowboys' loss. Again, Dallas, they are out of the NFC East. They will finish in 3rd place. They will lose any tiebreakers to Giants and Washington. They will not finish ahead of them. So the Cowboys are stuck in that 3 spot. The Giants could still win the division. They would win the tiebreaker here over Washington. But of course, what many of you right now are searching for is, okay, what's the draft status look like? The Jags and Jets were already locked in to the number 1 and 2 seats. Falcons lost, they should stay 3. Exact results pending for Houston. They'll either be 3 or 4. That pick, by the way, going to the Miami Dolphins. Bengals are 5. Philadelphia will stay ahead of the Cowboys. So are the Detroit Lions. That's 6 and 7 there. Where you could see some change. Entering today, the Cowboys had the number 11 pick. With the loss to the Giants slide down, the Cowboys slide up. So Dallas right now is sitting in that 10 spot. The Carolina Panthers and Denver Broncos have yet to play. Wins in those games by both teams would put the Cowboys up at number 8. That is as high as they can go. Now, technically, the Chargers and Niners are both tied with Dallas, but I believe regardless of strength of schedule, the Cowboys should stay ahead of them. The Chargers might be able to, but I think in reality, it is either 8, 9, or more likely 10, and maybe possibly 11. I haven't run the numbers yet, but you probably have a top 10 pick now if you're the Cowboys. So with that in mind, who do you guys want them to draft? They're still going to be top 10. One of those corners you like a lot, Caleb Farley, Patrick Surtain, they're going to be there. Micah Parsons, maybe. Penei Sewell, no, he will not be. But there will be players on the board at pick number 10. And although team trade down isn't as likely, it is technically possible still. So let me know in the comments who you want the Dallas Cowboys to draft. Today's show is made possible by our friends over at Manscaped. Head over to manscaped.com/chat. That gets you 20% off and free shipping when you use promo code CHAT. That's at manscaped.com/chat. 20% off and free shipping. I'll put that link in the comments and in the description. All right, some reaction and news. Also, Kellen Moore, he's sticking around. He signed a 3-year extension last night to stay on as the Cowboys OC after a report from Troy Aikman mid-game, by the way, that Kellen Moore had actually agreed to be the Boise State head coach. And then something changed. Maybe it was Jerry's big old bag of cash, but something changed to get Kellen Moore to stick around in this one. For this team, the offense puts up 19 points. I don't think Kellen Moore called a perfect game. I want to forever abolish the second and long run. I hate it. But I think the offensive blame, which we'll get into, was not a good showing by Andy Dalton. That was not a good showing by the offensive line. And at least next year, you're going to have a healthier offensive line. You'll have Dak Prescott back. That trio, with all your skill guys, it works pretty well. It works very well. So I am glad that Kellen Moore is staying. But you guys can get your votes in too. Are you happy? Y for yes or N for no? Let me know what you guys think in the comments section. One guy I know many of you don't want to stick around is Mike Nolan. The earlier report this season, was that Nolan was not expected to return. But the defense did play a hell of a lot better down the stretch. They had 12 takeaways over their last 4 games, which is pretty damn impressive. They played better. I also think this is a great defense. Now, you're missing a lot of key players. I think there's going to be enough for McCarthy to argue, hey, let me keep my DC. I liked him a lot. I don't know if that's how the Joneses feel about that defense. So get your votes in here. FN for if you want Mike Nolan fired, if you want him gone. I think I'll see plenty of FNs in there. I think it's kind of softened the viewpoint has a little bit there. But in the end, I don't think that defense is really that great. And I think it's part coaching staff and part players. And I think both need to at least be examined this offseason. I know player-wise, you got to get some more pieces in there. I wouldn't mind getting rid of a new DC as well. Now we're trying to get to 85K subscribers. We'll have daily videos for you guys. We'll do mock drafts, a lot of draft coverage, free agency, salary cap stuff, coaching stuff as well. Get us to 85K. Daily videos to the 2,000 people still watching live right now. Hit that big red button and subscribe. That way you don't miss out on anything going on around the Cowboys. It's going to be a critical offseason. If they just roll it back, they're not going to be good enough. But you have a top 10 pick. You have a lot of extra draft picks from losing guys in free agency. You will be able to find additions for that side of the football. Andy Dalton in the end, well, up and down feels about right. The first half, yikes, bad. The final 3 plays or so, one was not his fault. That was the CeeDee Lamb drop. But the interception to end the game, what are you doing, man? I get you're trying to make a play, but you got time. You got a full 4th down play still. That wasn't a good decision. So, in the end, Andy Dalton, same old, same old. He's a solid player. He's a great backup quarterback. He's not a franchise starting caliber guy. I am down to keep him as the backup. I really am. But I wanted a backup to go around 500. That's what Dalton did. But that's the difference between making the playoffs in a bad NFC East and coming up just short with a top 10 pick. All right, now, there's a good red hair joke there, I think. Carpets, matching drapes, and whatnot. Manscaped.com/chat. Use that promo code chat to get you 20% off. I know Dalton uses it. Lawnmower 3.0. It's the best men's grooming tool out there. Head over to manscaped.com/chat and use that promo code. It'll get you 20% off. Again, that link will be in the comments and in the comments. All right, some super chats with a common theme here. Remy Gordon, I don't know what hurts more, losing because McCarthy didn't call a timeout or not tanking and not getting a top 5 pick. Remy Gordon, please tell me someone's getting fired for not challenging that play, and Jose, McCarthy's fault, fart feels accurate though, it's a brain fart, for not challenging. Yes. Now, typically, there is somebody's job up in the coach's booth to say, hey, challenge this or not. But you got to challenge that. Somebody, and in the end, I'm going to put the blame with McCarthy, has to challenge that play. That could have had a massive impact on the outcome. Yes, the lack of a challenge, not going for it on 2-point, those are bad. Those are mistakes. Now, in the end, it's not one mistake that lost you this game. The CeeDee Lamb drop, defense allowing 14 points early, the terrible offensive line showing, second down runs, Dalton's bad INT, like all of those things added up to a loss. And that's why the Cowboys came up short. And I'm not going to absolve McCarthy of any blame here today. He's a big reason why the Cowboys lost that game. Remember, historically, when you come out flat like the Cowboys did, I tend to blame the head coach. So I think McCarthy gets a lot of blame for this one from the Cowboys. So what is your confidence level in Mike McCarthy? Rate this for me on a scale of 1 to 10. I am very curious how this goes because I think, again, you have to take the totality of the season. To win 6 games with this team, as bad as the defense was early, as injured as you are on offense, I think is fairly impressive. Am I fully convinced that McCarthy is the guy next year and you're going to win Super Bowl guaranteed? No. So I'm somewhere more in the 6 range, and it's funny how our perspective changes, because let's say hypothetically Washington actually beat Carolina last week. Let's say that happened, and the outcome went the exact same way today, but we all wanted Dallas to lose to get the higher draft pick. We wouldn't feel that bad, would we? So get your votes in. No wrong answers. Confidence in Mike McCarthy on a scale of 1 to 10. From my burner account, honestly, this loss is for the best. Would have been a first-round exit, get many players back, top 11 pick, rookie class played well. This was a bad, injured team that had no shot at a Super Bowl. And you're not wrong. Now, I know players and coaches always want to win, and I get that. But I never bought into the, you got to have an elite culture stuff, because I've seen the Cowboys themselves go from a top 5 pick to winning the NFC regular season. So clearly it's possible. So in the end, I think the number one ideal outcome would have been to, of course, lose out only for the draft pick. But at least now you have a little bit more confidence in Mike McCarthy. I think that's where this team is at right now. So I get where you're coming from. It makes absolute sense to me. From Jordan King, to add more talent on the defense, is there anyone on offense you want to trade for picks or a player who can help? I think your logical trade chip, and I'm not saying you trade him, I'm not saying you have to trade him, but if you want to get value, you have to give up value. And your logical trade value comes from Michael Gallup. I'm not saying you don't have to do it. You don't have to trade him right now. That is not something you need to do. But if you want to explore it, that's the guy that makes sense to me. All right, Troy Daniels, I would rather have a third-place schedule for next year anyways. So in the better schedule, win the division next year, Cowboys forever. Yes, you're right. The Cowboys schedule next year, as a result of today's loss, does set up better. That is a very accurate statement, Troy. So looking on the bright side, that's the right angle to take. Of course, in the moment, that was a painful loss, right? Cowboys, they find a way to give hope, and then they find a way to lose it. 23-19. They had the ball first and goal at like the 7. No one blocks Leonard Williams. I don't know what Terrence Steele was doing there. How is the protection not picking up the defensive end? And if it's not, it has to be out way quicker than what it was. Don't get that. Second down play, CeeDee Lamb picks up 15. Oh, he drops it. He could have scored. It would have been at least inside the 5 there. And then Dalton just throws it away. And then Gallman fumbles and recovers it. It was just an absolute disaster there. The Cowboys come up short. They're out of the postseason. And now the attention turns for the rest of this channel for the next couple months solely on the offseason.